Man, hell nah, I ain't vote for no Kamala Harris for president. That lady, what has that lady ever did for black people? Watch this. What has Kamala Harris ever did for black people?
Kamala Harris has undertaken several initiatives and actions that have aimed to benefit Black Americans, both as a U.S. Senator and as Vice President. As a U.S. Senator, advocating for criminal justice reform. First Step Act. Harris supported the bipartisan First Step Act, which aimed to reform the criminal justice system, including reducing mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent drug offenses, which disproportionately affect Black communities. Anti-lynching legislation. Harris co-sponsored the Justice for Victims of Lynching Act, which aimed to make lynching a federal hate crime. Justice in Policing Act. Harris co-authored this comprehensive police reform bill, which includes measures to ban chokeholds, establish a national database of police misconduct, and end qualified immunity for law enforcement officers. Harris introduced the LIFT, Livable Incomes for Families Today, the Middle Class Act, which proposed a tax credit that would benefit low and middle income families, including many Black families. Rent Relief Act. Harris introduced legislation aimed at providing rent relief to families spending more than 30% of their income on rent, benefiting many Black Americans facing housing affordability issues. As Vice President, Harris has supported and advocated for measures within the American Rescue Plan, which included significant funding for Black-owned businesses, expanded the child tax credit, and provided direct financial support to families disproportionately affected by the pandemic, including Black Americans. Harris has championed the Black Maternal Health Momnibus Act, which addresses the Black maternal health crisis through investments in social determinants of health, funding for community-based organizations, and improvements in data collection and research. Harris has been a vocal advocate for the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the For the People Act, aimed at protecting and expanding voting rights, particularly for communities of color. Harris has worked to secure increased funding for historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, recognizing their critical role in providing education and opportunities for Black students. These efforts reflect her ongoing commitment to addressing issues that disproportionately impact Black Americans.
She still ain't black.